I know Michael Jordan can do what he wants, but didn't he have his best results when he was playing basketball? Hello and welcome to the Durham Talents channel. My name is Jesse Durham. We're back for another installment in our quotes series where we are going to evaluate and scrutinize the very popular saying of diversify your portfolio. Now, that's so very commonly said, propagandized, I would even say, in the current conventional financial paradigm. We, of course, are going to evaluate that saying of diversify your portfolio with an infinite banking lens. Now, let me make a separation here. I'm not talking about investments, making an investment advice, but people make investments, okay? What I will point out is that the banking function exists. Banking exists. It's a function. It's a process. You can control it and profit from it for yourself. And banking takes place on investments. Everything is financed, and you can do it for yourself and you can profit from it. So let's just talk about the mentality of diversify your portfolio real quick. I know that Michael Jordan can do what he wants, but didn't he get his best results playing basketball? Okay, what I'm trying to say here is I just don't know that Mozart should have been spending too much time painting. That's, again, he can paint if he wants to paint. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it seems to me that when you hear folks talk like the Warren Buffetts or the Dave Ramseys, you get some interesting advice, you get some interesting sayings, you get some interesting thought processes. And there are these trains of thought of, well, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I've actually covered that saying here already on the channel. That, okay, you need to throw some stuff over here, do some stuff over here, do some stuff over here, just to try and cover your bases, okay? Haphazardly is what it sounds like to me. And then there's this other train of thought, and I've also covered this on another saying of put all your eggs in one basket and don't look away from it, okay? Focus on that. And that's why I give the examples that like the Michael Jordans and the Mozarts. And I think that you have gifts and inclinations and desires and knowledge and experience in particular areas as well. And what I would say, because I get this question often too, okay, about, well, what do I do with my policy? What do I use my cash values for, et cetera? And what I encourage people, at least in starting out, is you don't have to jump right into doing some type of investing that you don't know or understand or have experience in. What if you just financed your lifestyle such as it is? I mean, if you're driving cars and taking vacations, what have you, whatever it is that you're already doing, just begin by being in the business of financing that. Why jump straight to real estate or precious metals or just whatever? I'm just saying without education, without experience, okay? Trying to cast a broad net to do what you can do, okay? Versus being a Michael Jordan and really, really digging in and honing in on what you know, what you're great at, etc. So this idea of diversifying your portfolio, it leads to lots of interesting products and thinking, etc. Like I recently discussed in another episode how, just for example, there are more mutual funds than there are stocks. And there are a lot of stocks out there, aren't there? And there are more mutual funds than there are stocks. Well, it's good to know and ask ourselves, what do I know about that? What can I control about that? What's my experience there? So I'm just trying to give food for thought here and confronting and considering this idea, this philosophy of diversify your portfolio. And even folks that are early on in vetting the infinite banking concept, that's what they think they're doing sometimes. And that's why Nash has to clearly say at the very beginning of his book that this is not about investments of any kind. This is about the banking function. But he has to address that early on in his book, and I have to address that early on with people as well, that you're not doing anything to your portfolio. Yes, this is a financial tool, a financial asset, a properly structured policy with a mutual company that pays dividends. That's an asset. Yes, you can privately own it, so it's yours and you can use it, but it's not an investment. And if I ever get kickback on that from someone, it just lets me know a bit about where they are, and maybe if they're subject to the arrival syndrome and things like that, if they're not willing to rethink their thinking on it anyway, because it's not about investing. It's about, at least what we're going to say here on this channel, is the fact that you can become your own banker, that you don't just have to throw spaghetti at a wall and see what sticks. You can know, okay, well, this is an appreciating asset that I'm going to own and control without taking on additional risk or losing control, changing my cash flows. And I'm going to become my own banker over the course of my lifetime. And it's going to be the most profitable. Nash said it's going to be the most profitable thing that you could choose to do. So invest if you want to invest, build businesses, do whatever it is that you do. But if you just simply consider what it could look like by adding one step, by becoming the banker in your scenario. I mean, just ask yourself about banks in general. The commercial, conventional banks that are out there, aren't they beautiful buildings, well-kept grounds, etc.? Okay. Maybe they're profitable. I think so. It seems to be the case. Okay. That banks are making banks are making 400, 800, 1,300% on the dollars that we're depositing there. So the investments that we're making, the businesses that we're running, the lives that we are living, if we're conventionally financing, who's really profiting? Okay, who's really got a great portfolio of assets? Well, the banks do for sure. Oh, and on that point, let's go here. What is a liability to a bank and what is an asset to a bank? See, to a bank, your deposits are liabilities. If you've never heard that, this is going to be a big paradigm shift if you'll catch on to it. To a commercial bank, your deposits are a liability because they have to do something with that. But loans that they make to you for our cars, for our homes, okay, these credit cards, all these things, that is an asset to the bank. So if you really want to diversify your portfolio, look deeper than that and look at who controls the banking function in your life. You can do it for yourself. If you'd like to have a conversation about how to implement the infinite banking concept, then don't hesitate to reach out. And this has been a great pleasure for me. I look forward to that next conversation. Have a great day. Take care. Now, Jesse, what you need to do, son, is diversify your portfolio.
Isn't that the truth?
Super.
Se necesita poquita de gracia, un poquito de gracia para bailar. Bamba, 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 para bailar, bamba.